Have you ever heard of the lost colony of Roanoke?
No, not the name. Well, how about I start again?
Imagine an entire colony of over 100 people just up and disappearing without a trace.
No boaties, no battle, just one strange word carved into a tree.
This is the terrifying mystery of Roanoke. It all started back in the late 1500s. When the English settlers were getting pretty fed up with living under the rule of King Philip II of Spain, a group of them decided to build a colony on the small island of Roanoke off the coast of North Carolina. They built houses. They built farms. They even built a fort. And in 1587, over 100 settlers were living there in relative peace. But when supply ships returned 3 years later, they found that the entire colony had vanished. Now, at first, everyone assumed that the settlers had simply moved somewhere else. Maybe they found a better place to live, or maybe they decided to go back to England. But there was one slight problem with that theory. When the supply ships arrived, they found that the houses were burnt to the ground, the crops were trampled, and livestock were found dead and scattered around the island. It didn't seem as though the settlers had moved very far away. But then they found something strange. Carved into the trunk of a nearby tree was a single word. Croatoan. No one had any idea what it meant, but it was clearly some kind of clue. Was this the name of some far-off settlement where the colonists had relocated to? If so, why had they abandoned their homes and why had they left this cryptic message behind? Or was there another explanation? Something more sinister lurking beneath the surface. To this day, nobody knows for sure what happened to the lost colony, but there are a few theories out there that might just explain this enduring mystery. First, there's the theory that disease played a part in the disappearance. After all, diseases brought over from Europe devastated Native American populations who'd never even seen a Spaniard. Smallpox alone is believed to have killed millions of Native Americans. And it's quite possible that the settlers of Roanoke fell victim to some other illness, perhaps one that simply went unknown. This could also explain why there were no bodies found. If the settlers had been taken by disease, they may have been buried at sea, or perhaps the survivors simply didn't have the resources to bury them properly. Then there's the theory that the colonists didn't actually leave the island. Instead, they assimilated with the local native population. The theory goes that the settlers, including women and children, simply joined the Croatoan tribe and lived out the remainder of their lives amongst the natives. But this theory doesn't really make much sense either. If the settlers really did join the Croatoan tribe, why would they have left their homes and belongings behind? And if they were living among the natives, why would they have carved this strange clue for the people who came after? Some believe that the colonists were attacked and killed by the Spanish, but there's no evidence to support this theory either. Had the Spanish attacked the settlement, there would have likely been some kind of record of it. And finally, there's the theory that something more sinister was at play, that something more than human did to the colony. What do you think happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.